when you look at yourself right now in your career, where do you feel you are? How much time do you have left? Do you feel like you're running out of time?
No, I don't feel like I'm running out of time. I don't feel like running out of time. I've had, a few opportunities. But just overall, as I look at the roster, and that's one of the reasons, I put so much work in with the front office, because just detailed and players. And from last year we had like a lot of younger guys, and this year we got a lot of vet. We got a vet team, and with the addition obviously of Russ, but we got another vet in Tyson, who has championship mindset, that can help us get to where we want to go. But
I've come to the conclusion, bullying Westbrook and talking bad about him, that's boring, and that's really low-hanging fruit. Like, who can't do that? Anybody can pull up his stats. Anybody can pull up his inefficiency. Like, he's an easy person to crush. But, oh, wait, pause. That goddamn pause. But the one I want to talk about today is James Harden. Bro, I've come to the conclusion, you can't win with him. Like, period. You can't win with him. And if you don't believe me, I am going to detail every single reason why I believe so. Proof all that. Now, really quickly, I never really plugged in my IG because I never really used IG like that. But my old one did get hacked a few months ago. Never really talked about it because I never really cared about it like that. But y'all wanted me to make a new one, so I made a new one, and I'm going to post a lot of content on that. If you want to see my face, you're going to see me on there. Follow that and leave this emoji under my picture to let me know that you're from this video. Now, Kobe Bryant, right? In February of 2019, Kobe said something very, very important to James Harden. Something that I think he and Mike D'Antoni should have listened to, but they clearly didn't. Basically, Kobe told James Harden, in the midst of him scoring 30 points 30 straight times, 40-point streaks, 50 points, all this stuff, that doesn't win championships. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it stuffs the stats. And yes, it looks good for your legacy as far as Hall of Fame stuff. But it's never, ever going to win. And Kobe would know this better than anybody because he went through this in the midst of his prime after he won championships. Now, James Harden is 10 times worse because Harden is a system within himself. I don't think he can work with anybody. I've talked about LeBron and how hard it is to play with him, but his is mainly his media draw and who he is to the NBA and his big persona. James Harden's is, if you need the ball in the slightest to be effective, bro, you will never fit with him. And I'm about to go down the list. Dwight Howard. It doesn't seem like it, but he played a full 3 seasons with James Harden. 3 seasons. His career as a quote-unquote star basically died once he went to Houston. Why? Yes, Dwight battled injuries, but still, in a 3-year stretch, he went down to almost career lows in field goal attempts, usage rate, playoff field goal attempts, playoff usage rate. Bro, his last year, he was only getting 8 shots a game. Not saying he's Shaq or anything like that, but if he's your second star, how is he only getting 8 shots a game? Meanwhile, James Harden is doubling that. Now I see why, as a former big man, Kevin McHale had some friction with James Harden. He didn't like that play style. Now that was his first star. Let's fast forward to Chris Paul and where that went wrong. It's a funny saying that to me is just so facts. Watch what the hell you ask for in life. Whatever you want in life, watch what you ask for, because when life hands it to you, your ass might not be able to handle it. When Chris Paul left the Clippers, it's a little interview with him talking to Jay-Z. And basically he was saying, I'm tired of handling the ball 25-8. Like, basically I have to create offense for everybody. Either I'm throwing lobs or I'm creating for everybody and, making the offense happen. Everything works through me. It would be nice to give the ball to somebody and we can rotate. Well, that didn't work out.
Because I done said this for the longest. I had the ball in my hands way too much. Like, I'm so tired of dribbling and having to do so much. Like, I would love to be able to get on the wing and shoot the ball and stuff like that.
Chris Paul went from orchestrating that beautiful offense in LA to playing with James Harden, who damn near broke Russell Westbrook's most selfish record while he was on the team. Chris Paul's last year in Houston, mind you, he's a point guard, one of the greatest of all time. He's that. His last year in Houston, he had the ball in his hands while he was on the floor, the 114th most in the entire NBA. That is not a typo. That is a fact. Like, bro, the 114th most with Chris Paul on your team. That tells me everything you need to know about James Harden. I said this in the video last year, and it was facts. Chris Paul got laughed at when he left. Oh, nobody wants to play with him. All his numbers went down and all this. But how the hell can you possibly play how you've been playing your entire life with that dude? Bro, it's impossible. When Chris Paul left and Chris Paul had that divorce with James Harden and all that, it was reports that it was friction because Chris Paul basically wanted to play NBA basketball. While I have the ball in my hands and I'm working, don't just stand in the corner and pout waiting for the ball, because you basically take yourself out the offense. Move around and get open and play real NBA basketball. He was tired of that, and reasonably so. And that brings me to this year. Look at him with Russell Westbrook. I've said this in some of my recent videos. Russell Westbrook in the calendar year of 2020, up until the pandemic, he was playing amazing. Like, look at his numbers from January, I think like 3rd to like March 10th. He was playing some of the best basketball of his career. Meanwhile, while Russ was thriving, James Harden's efficiency, everything was coming down. Everything. Like, he just wasn't himself. Yeah, he was still averaging 30. He shoot 55 shots a night, but he just wasn't the same. But if you look at the beginning of the year, up until the calendar year 2019, where Russell Westbrook was struggling, James Harden was averaging damn near 40 on crazy efficiencies. And that's exactly what I'm saying. He can't work with anybody. He can work in spite of people, but he can't work with anybody. He literally needs to be his own system. I literally think in order to play with James Harden, one, you have to be low-key, low maintenance. Like, you really can't be a superstar. Two, because no superstar is going to sit in the corner and wait for him to pass him the ball. Two, you just have to be a three-point shooter and be able to sit in the corner and wait for your turn to shoot the ball. Like, that's what you have to do. The crazy part about that, they tried that. It still didn't work. After that whole Dwight Howard fiasco and all that, Daryl Morey was actually smart. He said, I got to get this dude a special coach. He can't take a regular coach because they're probably going to preach traditional basketball. This dude don't play traditional basketball. I'm going to get this dude Mike D'Antoni, who specializes in basically what he does. He got Mike D'Antoni and basically gave him the perfect James Harden team. All shooters, all low maintenance, not a lot of talking, not a lot of superstar, none of that. Just shooters and James Harden. They still lost. Houston made the semifinals, made a game 6 versus San Antonio in Houston, and Kawhi didn't play. And they damn near lost by 40 points. Like, this is James Harden, bro. Mike D'Antoni and Daryl Morey, they're both probably about to lose their job. And to me, it's not even all their fault. Like, they gave James Harden, they did all they can do with a player like James Harden. Like, they literally gave him a system. In the last 3 years, this season, right, James Harden shot 200 more threes than anybody in the league. 200. The season before that, he damn near did the exact same thing. The season before that, he damn near did the exact same thing. Bro, since James Harden's been in Houston, Houston has led the league in three-point attempts every single year besides the 73-9 Warriors year. What does that mean? They basically gave him the system he wants, and it's still not working. You gave him Dwight Howard. Yeah, you know, Dwight Howard isn't the greatest, but he's still a Hall of Famer. You gave him that. That didn't work. You gave him Chris Paul. You basically almost ended his career. You gave him Russell Westbrook, his best friend. That's damn near ending his career. Like, you gave him everything you can possibly give a player, and it didn't work. At some point, you got to say, bro, it's James Harden. I would say trade him, but besides a team like New York who's desperate, where the hell is James Harden going to fit? No, like, he literally is a system, and you have to take that. Like, he's just a hard player to pair with. So, Rockets fans, and I know Rockets fans, a lot of y'all already know. Like, y'all told me this. Y'all keep telling me, man, James Harden is the problem. I'm tired of him. Like, he's been great statistically in a regular season, but it's the same thing every year. Well, it's going to be the same thing every year with James Harden because that's just who he is. A Tiger ain't going to change his stripes in his 12th season. If you guys like this video, man, like this video. James Harden is the problem. Like I said, man, follow my new IG and leave that emoji. That lets me know y'all rock with me, man. Follow my Twitter, man. Do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, I'm sorry, Harden, man. I just had to get on your head today, man. You the problem, bro. Stay tuned.